Greetings, my lovelies. Hi, it's Emmy. Welcome back to another taste test. Today I'll be tasting American breakfast cereals. And more specifically, I'm talking about the sugary sweet breakfast cereals. A few of you requested this, so here I am today to eat a bunch of breakfast cereals. Before we get on to the tasting, let's talk briefly about some of the history of breakfast cereals. Ready-to-eat breakfast cereals were invented in the turn of the last century, around the 1900s, and they were considered healthy. They were actually invented for folks that were in the sanitarium who were unwell to eat something that was nutritious, so it was more like a granola. So post-World War II, the cereal manufacturers came up with this really great idea of having pre-sweetened cereals that were marketed more towards children. People were putting sugar on their cereal anyways, so why not offer them a pre-sweetened version? They also started including mascots as a way to market these cereals for children. Many of these I haven't had in years because I don't really eat sugary cereals much, but I thought I'd walk down the road of nostalgia and share them with you today. Did you ever eat these when you were a kid growing up? And as you can see, it comes with several different flavors. This has 8 cereal boxes and 5 different flavors. I also found these, which I think are newer. I've never actually had one of these before, so these will be new. And it has 2 packs of Fruit Loops, 2 packs of Frosted Flakes, 2 packs of Cocoa Krispies, 1 Applejack, and 1 Pops. I always opened them from the top as a kid, but there's this perforation here, so I think maybe you open it like, does it say? See, in Japan, you would never have this problem of wonderment because it would be very clear how to open the packaging. There's this, okay, maybe you open it, oh gosh. Very rainbow in color. Wow. That is such a familiar smell. It smells just like Fruity Pebbles. It's very, very artificial fruit punch kind of smell with kind of sugary sweetness. Very nostalgic. The mascot for this one is Toucan Sam. Let's just try it dry first. Wow. Sweeter than I remember. Very, very sweet. Airy and light. The base is corn. It just tastes kind of fruity. That was an orange one. Let's taste a yellow one and see if it's the same. Yeah. They all have the same flavor. All right, let's have it with a little bit of milk. I'm going to have mine with almond milk because I can't drink large quantities of cow's milk. It's much better with milk, in my opinion. It cuts a little bit of the sweetness. How do you guys like your breakfast cereal? I have to have mine crunchy, so I eat mine really, really fast. Let me know your cereal eating habits in the comments because, yeah, maybe I'm a fruit. Next, let's try Frosted Flakes. And the mascot on this is Tony Tiger. He always goes, they're great. There they are. You can see that each little cornflake is coated very generously with sugar. Let's try one straight up. Super sweet again with a crunchy corn base. I think cornflakes are pretty ubiquitous at this point. I think you can pretty much find them all around the world. So imagine that corn crunchy cereal dipped in sugar and you've got cornflakes. All right, here we go. Itadakimasu. And it's really good actually. You get that nice corny flavor, big crunch, and tons of sweetness with some cold milk. It's delicious. Next, we have Cocoa Krispies. This is another Kellogg's product. They are Rice Krispies, but they are the chocolate version. The mascot for this particular cereal is Snap Crackle Pop, and these little characters play up the fact that when you add milk to this cereal, the cereal pops and crackles. Totally familiar smell. There they are, Cocoa Krispies. So, light, airy, puffy, cocoa-y, and of course sweet. But the best part for me, for this type of cereal, is the milk. The milk, rather than just turning sweet, turns chocolatey sweet. So you get chocolate milk at the very end, which I actually quite like. So next on the snack pack, we have Corn Pops. And this one does not have a mascot, but it says it's crispy, glazed, crunchy, sweet. I think this is supposed to emulate actual corn kernels. They're very light and puffy, a little bit yellow in color. That looks actually like a bit of a corn kernel piece. Nice and crunchy. And really light and a little bit fluffy and sweet, but not too sweet. So let's add a little milk to that. That one seems a little bit less sweet than the others actually. A nice big corny flavor and airier in texture than the others. This tastes a little bit more kind of honeyed rather than the Frosted Flakes, which just tasted like straight up sugar. I think I actually prefer the Frosted Flakes because I like that crunchier texture. And these are Apple Jacks. Similar shape to the Fruit Loops, but this is apple flavor. So they're orange and green, and then they have little speckles of pink on them and smell very strongly of kind of a fake apple smell. It almost reminds me of a glazed donut in terms of that much sweetness. And it has an appley flavor. Very similar to the Fruit Loops, but the flavor of fruit has been substituted with the artificial flavor of apple. And the cinnamon apple flavor reminds me of fall. Now this cereal, Captain Crunch with Crunch Berries, is one that I consumed a lot of. And when I was a girl, the Crunch Berries were only red. The mascot for this one is of course Captain Crunch, and it looks just as I remember. It smells the same, has kind of an artificial berry smell, but mostly strawberry. And I remember these were like gold. I would actually put my hand into the box and fish them out so I could eat them individually. Oh wow, so sweet and so super nostalgic. So it has a corny flavor, very, very sweet, and a fake strawberry flavor. Delicious. Let's try a purple one. Same flavor, oh my gosh. Blue one's the same as well. So the berries taste exactly the same as they used to, just different colors. And let's try the plain cereal. Gosh, they're so sweet. But what I noticed is there's a good amount of salt in there as well. I loved the cereal, and the flavor is really taking me back. I used to eat it plain and with just a little bit of milk. That is great. It's super sweet and a little bit salty, full of corny flavor and a little bit of artificial strawberry. And it is so good and so bad at the same time. It immediately takes me back to that memory of reading the back of the cereal box while eating my cereal. I never got this flavor too much as a kid, and I certainly never got the peanut butter version because I really didn't like that one at all. So no surprises there. That's just the plain Captain Crunch. Plain Captain Crunch always just seemed a little bit lackluster and a little bit sad because there were no bright berries, but here we go. And to me, it's just not as good. You have the big crunch, you've got the big sweetness and a little bit of salt and corny flavor, but I just want those berries. Like, if you're not into artificial berry, then maybe this is the one for you. Captain Crunch, plain. Here's another kind of popular one, and this is Lucky Charms. Do you guys remember what this guy's name is? For some reason, my mom would let me eat lots of Captain Crunch, but she would never let me eat Lucky Charms because Lucky Charms contained sweetened cereal and little bits of marshmallow, which she kind of thought was like candy. I never really had Lucky Charms as a kid, but later in life, I do remember eating the generic version of this. I poured on a plate so you can actually see the bits better. Here's the rainbow, the balloon. I believe that's supposed to be a horseshoe. Maybe that's supposed to be a piece of gold. And there's the shamrock. And this, I think, is a shooting star. So let's taste the cereal. The cereal based on this one has a completely different flavor. It tastes more like Cheerios. I believe it's oats in there rather than having it be corn or rice. And then you got the marshmallows, which are hard and spongy. Don't have much of a flavor at all, and very, very, very sugary. Very, very sweet and oaty, crunchy. And yeah, not bad. If you like Cheerios, then you'll probably like this. So now that I mentioned it, here's Honey Nut Cheerios. And Cheerios has this little sweet little bee guy. I don't know that he has a name. Cheerios also comes in its plain version, which are just regular Cheerios. And this one, which is the Honey Nut, which is sweetened. Here's what they look like. They're like little O's, a little bit smaller than Fruit Loops. I used to love eating these plain as a kid. And I still do. I have to say, I've never had these cups before, but I do like the convenience of being able to add the milk directly into the container. And that's good. I think of all these cereals, this is one that I would actually still eat. It's still very sweet, but it has a really nice oaty flavor. And it's not like over the top sweet like some of the other cereals. I think particularly if you added some fresh fruit to this would be actually quite good. So I confessed to you guys earlier about Captain Crunch and Crunch Berries. Here's another Achilles heel, and it's Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So this is one that I ate as a kid as well. So back in the day, it did have a mascot. Looks like they don't have them anymore, but they were bakers, and they had a little jingle. It was like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So this cereal is supposed to be like cinnamon toast, which is a toast made with lots of cinnamon and sugar. Great cinnamony smell, and each little piece of toast is kind of swirled with cinnamon as well. Yum! Chocked full of cinnamony flavor and sugar, of course. And like the Captain Crunch, it has a good amount of salt in there as well. There's not a lot of flavor to the cereal itself, so I'm thinking that the base might be rice. And that one I really like. Great cinnamon flavor. Good amount of sweetness. It is quite sweet. It is a kid's breakfast cereal after all, but not over the top sweet like Captain Crunch or Frosted Flakes. But yeah, I like the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It's good. So that was a selection of American breakfast cereals. Let me know in the comments below what you eat for breakfast or what cereals you have in your country or wherever you live. I want to know more about it. I find this whole idea of breakfast cereals fascinating. So do let me know and I'll see if I can track it down so I can give it a taste as well. All right, thanks you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoy that. I hope you guys learned something. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I shall see you in my next video. Toodaloo, take care, bye! Will you look at this thing of beauty? Look at that. Dun dun dun, ramen pizza. Yes. It's still sizzling, can you hear it?